we want to take a minute to just introduce ourselves to our listeners and help you get to know us a little bit better.
Yes, for sure. And Carolyn, I want to start with you, right? Because you are the mastermind behind this podcast. You are Rhody, you are Round the World, you're doing it all. And this would not be possible without your efforts and your work.
Thanks, Keegan.
And so, Carolyn, I wanted to ask you, how did you get here? So share what is your title, what is your role, and what got you to URI in the first place?
Sure. So I work for the Office of Global Initiatives here at URI, and I am a specialist in international program software management and communications.
Ooh,
And that's a really long-winded title
for doing a lot of long-winded, important things.
Yes. So basically, I manage for the Office of Study Abroad, so the Office of International Education and the Office of International Students and Scholars. I manage their application management softwares as well as their immigration compliance software. In addition to that, I run our social media. I fix up our website with any edits, so any communications. I do the podcast.
Yes.
And some other odds and ends.
I love it. So how did you, I don't think everyone wakes up in the morning being like, I want to do exactly what you said.
Yeah.
That's not what I was thinking when I was in third grade.
Me neither. Very niche.
Right. So, what got you to this point in your career? Where did you begin? What did that look like?
Yeah.
Where are you even from?
Yeah. So I'm actually from New York. I grew up on Long Island.
Very cool.
And I came to URI and I got my bachelor's here in political science. And then I went straight into our international relations master's program.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I took about 6 months off. And I was just managing a restaurant through grad school. So I just worked there after grad school. And then the opportunity came along to start working here for my position. So I, yeah.
I love that. I mean,
and I came back and I love it. It's like I'd never left the political science department, which is amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I literally tell my students all the time, no path is linear. And I'm going to tell the listeners too, many who can probably attest, depending on where you are in your career, no path is linear. So that's great. That's great. We're excited to have you.
Thank you. Very roundabout, approach. But I think that's important is you can go into college with any major and you may not know what that major should be, especially when you enter college at such a young age. And I definitely didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Right.
But, if you find something that's like closely related to your field that interests you, it doesn't exactly have to be kind of what you planned.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. And truly, I mean, when it comes to what you can do and the opportunities of the careers, it will never align perfectly with your major, right? And so I think that probably goes for even like study abroad, right? If students want to study abroad, if I was in, ocean engineering, they might say, could I do this program? And they probably can do a lot of programs, I imagine.
Yeah, there are a lot of options. But speaking of opportunity, you are the director of opportunity here.
Oh, my.
Really.
Oh,
so
my.
tell us your title and what you're doing, where you're from, and how you ended up here.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's truly, I wish it was as simple as, Dorothy had a dream and there was a tornado and then she was in Oz, right? My story, it's unique in the sense that, I am the director of fellowships here at University of Rhode Island. And that really means that I help students, undergraduate students, graduate students, and even alumni apply, identify, explore, opportunities. And so fellowships in general, it's important to define that because a lot of people think fellowships are scholarships. Scholarships are, for tuition, right? They go towards the cost of education. Fellowships are different in the sense that they're for an experiential educational opportunity. So this could be, internships, for example. It could be study abroad programs. It just really depends. Graduate study, right? There are fellowships for that too. Language learning. Again, it varies, but fellowships is just really unique because there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of big names that people think of, Rhodes, Marshall, Fulbright. It's much more than that, though. There are truly thousands of fellowships throughout the world for, all students of all majors. at all points in their career and in their life, and just a matter of finding it. And I do just that. I help them find opportunities and apply for that. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, Keegan, did you wake up in the morning and, you
Yeah,
know,
another niche career.
right, right. And it was very happenstance. I'm from Ohio, originally a small town there. Went to Ohio State to do my undergraduate work in international relations and in Turkish. So I was really thinking I was going to do the foreign service at a very young age. I was like, yes, I already knew my career. By the time I was 18, it just was a matter of when and where. In a very kind of roundabout way, I taught abroad, 1 year in Georgia, the country, not the state, but I taught there, taught English, and then I taught with Fulbright for 3 years in Bulgaria. And that was so formative in my career because I said, wow, the Fulbright really opened up a lot of doors. I had such great experiences. And so when I came back, I did my graduate work at Georgetown in Eurasian studies. My focus was again Turkey and Turkish. But ironically enough, when I went into the workforce, my first job was with Fulbright. So I worked at the Fulbright Scholar Program, recruiting faculty and so on for several years until, actually I came here. Ironically enough, for those who might remember me in 2024, I came November during International Education Week here at URI
Yeah.
on request, of the Global Initiatives team. And so I was like, great, here I am. I got to present about Fulbright's, there's a reception in Green Hall. It was such a fun day.
It was. That's when we got to meet.
Yes, that's very true. This is where the podcast really came about.
Yeah.
When you're like,
I said, I'm poaching him.
yes, we have the co-host, right?
Yeah.
And now we have the magic, right? So that's where, I toured Rhode Island. And by that, I got picked up from the airport and came to campus and saw half the state. And I was like, I
Yeah.
love it. And this position opened up not long after I arrived in URI, when I visited. And, Manny Machaka, shout out to him. Hopefully he's listening. He's in the Global Initiatives office as well. Fantastic. 10 out of 10 recommend. He had, posted, I think, on LinkedIn being like, hey, Keegan, or not, me, but saying more broadly, like, oh, this opportunity exists for the fellowships office. And I said, oh, maybe this is something I would be interested in. And I applied and I got it. So here I am, loving Rhode Island. Now this is, my third month, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The whole summer here. I think that's a good time to start.
yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. So yeah, so I'm really loving Rhode Island. When you reached out and were like, Keegan, I think you were actually probably like the first email I had in my inbox and being like, Keegan, we'd love to have you do this podcast. I was like, great, I'd be happy to do it. So now I'm just encouraging students to, seek opportunities, whether it's abroad or here, whether through global initiatives or through fellowships, to say, look, what can you do? So the world is your oyster. And so I hope you go for it.
Great. Well, we're happy to be here. And thanks so
Yeah.
much for listening.
Yeah. Thanks. And thanks to all the listeners for joining from Kingston to the world. Thanks for listening.